wartime correspondent Brianna Whitney is here now to show us what the lab found, and this could alter history.
It sure could. This could be a big deal. The Warren Commission, who investigated the assassination after the fact, found the bullet that first struck President Kennedy is the same bullet that then went through Texas Governor John Connally, who was sitting in the front passenger seat of the limousine. This is widely known as the magic bullet or the single bullet theory. But this lab claims after years of research, the same bullet hitting both men is scientifically impossible.
President and Mrs. Kennedy, a warm welcome. The usual welcoming committee presents Mrs. Kennedy with a bouquet of red roses.
November 22nd, 1963, hundreds lined the streets of Dallas to see JFK and First Lady Jackie O.
The President's car is now turning onto Elm Street, and it will be only a matter of minutes before he arrives at the trademark.
Then, one of the country's most famous tragedies, President Kennedy shot twice by Lee Harvey Oswald.
It appears as though something has happened in the motorcade route. Something, I repeat, has happened in the motorcade route.
Walter Cronkite coming on the air.
President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
The Warren Commission was tasked with investigating and presenting the findings of the shooting. They found JFK was shot twice from behind by Lee Harvey Oswald from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository, and that the bullet that struck John F. Kennedy in his neck is the same bullet that struck and went through Governor John Connally, who was sitting in the passenger seat in front of JFK.
The analysis that we've gone through so far is that those can't be the same bullet. They don't align. We can't make Governor Connally's position match.
Stanley Stoll is CEO of Knott Laboratory, a forensic engineering and animation lab who was hired by a former Justice Department attorney to re-examine the single bullet theory. They took laser scanners to Dealey Plaza, then brought it back to their computers, and the data they collected from the lasers are tiny points, millions of them, to make a point cloud.
It's a digital twin. It's bringing the field to your computer, you know, the exact replica of whatever you wanted to scan. Everything used to be two-dimensional, and what you saw on camera may or may not be accurate. Now you can truly analyze it.
They then took the infamous Zapruder film that has the clearest video of when John F. Kennedy was shot and matched it to their point cloud. And everything was matching up perfectly until the Texas governor was shot too, reportedly by the bullet that went through the president first.
What, through the evaluation, comes to show is that those aren't in line. Governor Connally, his wound is sitting 6 to 10 inches towards the outside of the vehicle. You have to slide Governor Connally to the inside of the vehicle. You have to slide him to the left to get that alignment.
Based on those findings, Stoll says you have to look at a new hypothesis that there was a second bullet. The question, from where? One person with inside knowledge of the government investigation believes there was another bullet too. Sammy the Bull Gravano was questioned by the FBI about this after he became a government informant for the mafia.
I know what it is to kill someone. You don't bounce and come this way. When you bounce and come this way, you got hit in the front with a bullet, another one.
So you think JFK was struck from the front?
It was, you could see it. That went in, and that's from the grassy knoll.
Sammy said he is sure, however, there were no mafiosos on the grassy knoll. Stoll says while their lab doesn't know where the second bullet came from, their technology and visualization is ready for ballistics experts to analyze just that.
Okay, here's where our science ends. Okay, now everybody else, law enforcement investigators, those people that are fantastic at that, now come in and use our information and see what you think.
Stoll says Knott Laboratory welcomes any and all feedback from the public after listening to and viewing their scientific findings and evidence. Their lab is also hoping after getting their findings out in the media, they'll be able to meet with the federal government about what they found.
Fascinating there. And for decades, it has always been interest for so many people. So if people want to just delve into this even more, is there a way that they can?
So we're working on a podcast episode. It's coming out on Monday. We're going to talk a lot more about all the visualizations there. And then Sammy the Bull, that government informant, ended very abruptly in a very interesting way. And he also tells us who he believes is responsible for the fatal shot that hit JFK. That'll be in the podcast.
Okay. Always so much more. Thank you, Brianna.